hit the broadside of a barn. This is Jose's story. I was born in Honduras, abandoned by my mother and left by my father for my grandmother and aunt to raise. When I was 10, my brother and I moved to the U.S. in hopes of being reunited with my father and for a better life. Over the following 5 years, I was neglected, unloved, and unwanted. I would often wonder if anyone really loved me the way I saw on TV. At 15, I got my first job to pay for my clothing, rent, and food. I had to earn or buy my necessities and care for myself when I was sick. At 16, I was thrown out of the house and struggled to keep going to school and to keep a job. I lived with my stepmother's aunt until I was able to afford a car and moved out. I lived in my car for a few months, struggling with depression and a purpose, wondering why I was still living and why I had endured so much pain. I was a child trying to live as a man in a rough neighborhood in Miami. Sin was surrounding me and sucking me in. As I tried to better myself, I joined the Marines, was injured and discharged, and I fell back into my old sinful ways. Then I received a phone call from my brother who told me that he felt God spoke to him. He reached out to me because something was wrong. He wanted me to move in with him. I refused for a while, but I was struggling with money. I had my vehicle repossessed and just going bad all over. I decided to move in with him in the hopes that I could change my life. I rejoined the Marines, and once I was back in the service, the emptiness of my heart continued, but I wasn't sure what it was. In 2016, I got myself in trouble and put my career and family in jeopardy. I was hanging around with the wrong people and was surrounded by bad influences. During my struggle to accept what I had done, a good friend of mine told me one simple thing. He said, "Your struggle is not what you're going through right now. You are having a spiritual battle with God. Quit questioning what is happening right now and fix your relationship with God." As I arrived here in Virginia with my family, we started attending Mount Ararat right away and came on a Sunday that Pastor Todd was preaching on a series about trials. I remember sitting in service and listening to Pastor Todd preach that everyone goes through trials, but that's not what is going to define us, and we need to just be still and let it all and give it all to God and entrust Him and let Him do His work. I had never felt so much pain and love until I heard that series. My heart was no longer in pain, sorrow, or even anger because I felt something different. It was love. Love that I knew could only come from God. My heart, my worries were more at ease. During that series, I realized two things. One, I saw clearly that what my friend meant. God had been speaking for so many years, and I kept refusing Him, and I was no longer going to do that. And two, I had accepted God into my heart, home, and life. Nothing happens overnight without putting forth great effort. So my wife and I decided to join Alpha with Katie Hawkins, and that was the most wonderful experience ever. I was not being judged for my sins I had done or what I had been going through. I felt a bond that I would dream of when I felt a bond that I dreamt of when I was a child. I'm thankful that I accepted God and my Mount Ararat family 3 years ago, because I know that God will never fail me. He will never leave me alone or stranded. He alone is the one and only that can love me unconditionally. I want to get baptized to make my commitment to God and to family and on becoming a righteous man, a man after God's love, and to have a new beginning. Jose, you are a great testament. Your life has been a great testament since I have known you. And I'm proud to call you friend, and I'm proud to call you brother. And with that testimony that you have given, Todd is going to baptize you in the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.